the digested current present in the jejunum, peristalsis, right, is going to work. By the way, we got a lot of segmentation happening there at the same time in the duodenum, right? We're doing a lot of mixing. Okay. But once we get in the jejunum, we got peristalsis happening to move that all the way through the small intestine. That's the whole purpose of what? That's the purpose of the plica circularis. That's the purpose of villi. That's the purpose of microvilli. We have those transporters on the epithelium of the intestine to help us absorb those nutrients. Does it take energy to do digestion and absorption? Absolutely. Do you get more energy from the process of digestion and absorption than you must use to do it? Yes, or you're screwed, right? Because you're not going to get, that's the whole point. When you get in the large intestine, we've got that ileocecal valve, right? Right there emptying into the cecum. Really the point of that valve is to not regulate ileum emptying, but to prevent reflux, if you will, of the juice in the large intestine, the cecum, from going back up in the small intestine. In particular because it's got a lot of E. coli in it. And E. coli and other gut microflora are important to help us process a lot of the material that we didn't or couldn't digest. And a lot of that is plant-based material that has cellulose. We don't have cellulase and enzymes to help us break that down, and other kinds of things. So that's what happens in the large intestine. So the large intestine is working to help process all that indigestible material. We've got a lot of water. We want to reabsorb a bunch of water, right? Because I just want to process it for excretion. And that's mass movement. It's going to help move it, again, by peristalsis and whatever, through that large intestine down into the rectum. And remember internal sphincters, external sphincters, right? Internal sphincter, smooth muscle, external skeletal. That internal sphincter is under a tonic contraction, and it is preventing waste, if you will, feces, from exiting out through the anal sphincter, because it's always contracted. As the rectum stretches, there are local reflexes that will inhibit the contraction of that smooth muscle, and it will relax. That is the urge to defecate, right? And then you do what? I just did it, you didn't even know, right? You do that, right? That's maybe not like that. You contract the external anal sphincter, which is skeletal muscle, voluntary contraction, right? Until it's convenient to eliminate. You obviously can't hold that forever, because what would happen is that would tend to build back up into the large intestine and impede the whole process of digestion. In the large intestine, the digestion and the absorption that you do there, very little digestion. Absorption, yeah, water and water-soluble vitamins, some minerals and things like that will get absorbed in the large intestine. Flatus gas is a waste product of some of the metabolism of by the bacteria in the large intestine. So if you have a diet that's high in indigestible material, in particular fiber and things like that, you have to break down a lot of that with bacteria, and one of the byproducts is methane of the breakdown of that. So that's why with certain high fiber diets and things like that, you do have a lot of gas and bloating, is because of that fact that you can't really